Hello, my name is Mordred Viking, and I'd like to welcome you to episode 3 of this Let's Play Brazil in Kaiserreich for Hearts of Iron 4. In the last episode, we became integralist. Austrian Empire took 4 states, Croatia, Dalmatia's gone. And we're basically just kind of waiting for the civil war to happen. We are building up a army, slowly but surely. Keeping it trained up, and pretty efficient, and all the other good stuff. And yeah, just waiting. I really want to go to war with like La Plata and some of the other provinces around us, Bolivia. But knowing that there is this civil war kind of hanging over our heads makes me somewhat more reluctant to actually go for that. So for the time being, we are just going to be working our way through the focus tree and see what we can get and where we can get and all that other good stuff. Meanwhile, what's happening in the rest of the world? It's kind of slow in Brazil right now. Austrians are still progressing. There we go. Matarazzo Conference. Let us hear what our captains of industry suggest to deal with the current economic situation. After all, who would be more qualified? So we have to go towards a mixed capital economy because... because we are national populist. Okay, that's fine by me. Because it also has access to everything else. So why you would ever want to go planned economy or incentives to our industry, I'm really not sure. Because these are mutually exclusive. Mixed economy is just so much stronger because it has so many other focuses attached. And these ones aren't really that great. Like, incentives to industry is 2 infrastructure and 130 political 130 political power. Big whoop. This is 6% industry output, 2 civilian factories, 2 infrastructure, 2 military factories, 2 more infrastructure, 2 more infrastructure, and a research slot. I mean, why would you ever not go this way? I really don't understand that. Much time was given for the invisible hand of the market to act, and yet Brazilian industry is still failing. Now, in order to safeguard our economy and rising industry, a system where both the state and private enterprise work together to move the economy forward is to be implemented. Cool. Make it happen. Mobile warfare has been finished. So let's go and grab delay. Plus 15 organisation for infantry and motorised. Nice. Very nice. You guys trained yet? Are we still training more? We are. Now we're running a shortage of guns, right? Right. Yeah. Austrian Empire took 4 states from Galicia Lodomeria. So the Austrians are definitely looking pretty strong, and there we go. FAI have already won. That was a really fast Spanish Civil War. And that means that the communists are going to be even stronger versus Germany. Which is kind of interesting. And we are still building Rio de Janeiro's civilian factories. Outlaw the socialist parties. One of our senators has proposed legislation which outlaws all political organisations the government decides to label as socialist. This would effectively move all serious opposition to our government underground. However, some elements of our cabinet think we should be very cautious now. A persecution of our opposition would alienate the tenuous support we have from our workers and the middle classes. Of course, get rid of the syndicalist scum, which increases our own popularity, but does cost us some political power. Or we gain some popularity and they all gain some popularity. I mean, that wouldn't hurt us too badly, I don't think, because that 9% isn't going to come all from us. A fair chunk of it will, but not all of it. In fact, yeah, quite a lot of it will. Now is not the time. That comes later. What are we sitting on? 61. We're still fine. See? Calculated that correctly. Huzzah. So once Rio has finished, what's going to be the next objective? I think we basically just continue building up the south. So we'll put some factories here, which is also going to mean that we're going to have to hold the hell out of this area when we go to war with Argentina. It's going to be really quite valuable. And what else is happening? So Austria, you are still only at war with Montenegro and Albania? No, just Montenegro. That's not going to hold very long. And then, actually, the Austrian Empire is looking pretty decent. If you go after Romania, you'll be really strong. Especially if you then get an alliance with Germany. Because I think part of the problem is, very often it's Germany versus Britain, France, and Spain. Austria just kind of sits there going, yep, I'm not going to get involved. But if these two actually allied to each other, then that would be a different situation. Alright, so we can get 100 and... well, we can modify our government. We can actually get partial mobilization, which is a 40% increase in production speed. Construction speed, even. Oh no, that's just conversion cost. It's a 30% construction speed increase in civilian, 40% for military. You know what, we're going to go for partial mobilization. Let's do it. Means that the civilian factories we're building will pay off faster. Plus we also get more of the civilian factories actually producing now. By flying in formation, planes can provide support to each other or work together to attack enemies. Mutually exclusive with... yeah, okay, cool. So, it is now December 37. Are you kidding me? We haven't got these yet. I'm an idiot. What was I doing? Those are like the first things I get. Wow. Ah, and there we go. Austria has declared war on Romania. That is definitely the obvious choice for Austria, and they're going to be super strong once they take on Romania down. Can't really see Romania fighting them off. They just have so many factories now. And like double the troops. And only one enemy, so their entire force is now focused on them. Let's go and stick you in the army. We have another 3 units that need training. Let's make that start happening. Our popularity is rising! Due to his popular policies, one of our loyal ministers has managed to strengthen our ideology. Yeah, please do. And there we go. Mixed capital economy. Marvellous. Oh, we can't get this. Why not? Oh, I see. We can't get heavy-handed interventionism because we are not totalist. But you can't get this if you've taken planned economy. That's what makes no sense. If you have planned economy, then you can at least have a choice of these two, which would allow you to progress, but it's not. Both of these are exclusive to mixed capital economy. It's weird. So even though you have to be totalist and radical socialist, you can't then take this. Requires mixed capital economy, yeah. I don't understand that system at all. This seems a little weird. Is there anything else we need? We still can't get the Civil War stuff, because it hasn't happened. No, let's get joint ventures then. 6% more factory output. That sounds good to me. Marvellous. I'm feeling pretty good about the fact that we're just constantly churning out more troops. In fact, we should probably stop you too. We just don't have the guns for it. 1,200 deficit. You guys are fully equipped. Lovely. Sao Paulo, actually. Rio Grande Sul and Golas. Golas and Minas Gerais. Amazonas and Minas Gerais. Nordeste and Bohia. Okay, so that's all in the north. None of the southern stuff actually gets those infrastructure bonuses. So that's fine. Just means that we can keep on building up the south. At least I think so. Sao Paulo, Santa Catarina. Let me select it, come on. Oh, that's Rio Grande Sul. Okay, so we can't go too far south, because you will get a bonus to infrastructure from one of those ideas. We're lacking thingy. Let's get concentrated industry. Can't believe I let that slip. That was ridiculous. That's the second time I've screwed up in industry things. First time as the Union of Britain, then just then as Brazil. So I think the Britain one was worse, because we just forgot to mobilise. And now at least we're one step away from war economy. How are you guys doing? Fine. You are a 20 width. We have no support divisions, but right now a don't think that matters so much, although I wouldn't mind hospitals, just because I think manpower will ultimately be a bit of an issue. We could spend one more factory on getting some more steel. No, not while it's a surplus. We'll wait. Let's get some more civilians in Sao Paulo. And then once we've got that... Oh, there's Minas Gerais. Aha. Nordeste. Goiás. And there's Amazonas. Okay. So I think we have actually done all of this right for the focus that we're going down. Austria is absolutely caning through Romania. They'll probably go after Serbia and Albania next, I would guess. Oh no, Serbia's already a puppet. Russia's declared on Alash order. And you, Albania, are a puppet of the Ottomans. Interesting. Could bring you two into conflict. So Russia, are you actually going to be able to beat Alash order this time? And who did you put in charge? Savinkov. Don't know anything about that idea. You seem to be going fascist. We have a fascist Russia. Huh. Yeah, it's the Russian state rather than the Russian Empire. Joint ventures. By establishing joint ventures with our private sector, we can improve our nation's recovering economic situation. Let's get the national infrastructure plan for the Goiás and Rio Grande. Oh. Yeah, we don't really need rubber. But you give free steel. You know what? We're going for that. I want that steel. Free steel sounds awesome. Oh, you guys are trained. Stop wasting my materials. And you need to start training. You're about to be pushed out. There you go. White peace. Is it really, though? Is it really? It's something of a white peace. They lost half of their land. Bulgaria's declared war on Serbia. Which means Bulgaria is now at war with Austria, because Serbia was a Austrian puppet. That seems really silly, Bulgaria. Like, really silly. Construction 2, there we go. More excavation. Improve machine tools, I think. Keep that production flowing. We did actually start with a battleship. Battleship, light cruiser and 4 destroyers. Not the best navy ever, but it's a navy at least. So does Sao Paulo get any free infrastructure? I don't think so. That's all land defense. No, they don't. The Patrionavistas. Arlindo Veiga dos Santos, the leader of the Ação Imperial Patrionavista Brasileira, the Brazilian Imperial New Fatherland Action, has approached us. The Patrionavistas are a traditionalist Catholic group professing a anti-liberalist, anti-socialist doctrine, favouring the restoration of the House of Brazanga and a complete reshuffling of Brazilian society along a doctrine much similar to the Action Française of the Nationalist France or Spanish Carlism. In fact, a thought much similar to our own integralism. Many members of the Patrionavistas are also sympathisers, when not full members, of the Brazilian integralist action. The opposite is also true, with a few committed integralists being high-ranking Patrionavistas. Veiga dos Santos now has proposed a full merging of both movements, with the Patrionavistas becoming full members of the AIB. No matter how tempting this proposal may seem, we must take a careful approach. Many integralists are traditionalist Catholics, but the militant monarchism of the Patrionavistas goes against... No. That goes for our core principles. So this is the second part, apparently, of going to the Empire of Brazil, is that you need the support of these guys. So yes, we are definitely integrating those guys, which also makes the Italian Federation, the Kingdom of Spain, like us more, which is interesting. Cool. Our party support still at 66. So at some point after this is when the Civil War breaks out, I think. Because you get the support of those guys and the Civil War, then you can get more support from those guys, and then you become the Empire once you've won the war. Something like that. Or at least you have the option to become the Empire. But we will definitely be taking that, because that is the entire goal of this game, is to restore the Empire of Brazil. Okay, cool. So how badly are you doing, Bulgaria? How many troops do you have? Like, you're going to put up more of a fight than Romania, I think. Actually, you haven't got... No. Austria's massively industrializing and militarizing right now. The Archbishop of Sao Paulo supports the AIB. Dom Duarte Leopoldo e Silva, the Archbishop of Sao Paulo, has congratulated the government on our decision to integrate the Patronavistas into our party. Catholicism is a part of Brazilian society since its beginning, he said. Having a government that will truly support the ideals of the Church will be a bless to this country. So we now are sure to have greater support base for our policies. Ooh. Ooh. Lovely jubbly. We should definitely get an industrial company. Nice. That's a big boon, actually. The Ottoman Empire has declared war on Kurdistan. Cool. And how is our gun deficit? Still a little bit low, but we'll survive. We now have 17 divisions at least. Sultan of Egypt declared war on the Ottomans. So we have the Kurds and Egypt. I think probably Hashemite Arabia too. Yep. So the war against the Ottomans has really kicked off. And if once Austria has beaten Bulgaria, then they themselves could get involved. And that would be interesting, Austria versus the Ottomans. It looks like Russia is actually beating Alash. Good. That is not a war you should be losing. Mongolia and the Marklik continue to fight. And actually, it looks like Marklik have got some people cut off. These two could really do with some slightly different colours. Nothing too much going on over there. Dutch East Indies. Very interesting shade of cyan. I would have made them some kind of orange, I think. Alright, how are we doing here? You guys are very nearly ready training. At which point we'll be at 19 fully trained divisions. Which is good. 1. And Russia took out Alash Order. Good. Well done, Russia. Turkish Khanate is next. Sorry, Turkestan Khanate. And then probably Don Kuban Union. Azerbaijan, Armenia, Georgia. Support equipment effort. Marvellous. Next up is Army Railways. And then more steel. One way to increase our mobilization speed to aggression from beyond the River Plata is to set up a network of railways that will only be used by the armed forces or transport resources vital to these. Naturally, the populace will understand that it's for the greater good of the nation. Yeah, obviously. Cool. Onwards and upwards. These guys are almost ready to deploy. We're at 20%. Japan announces her ambitions. Even though the situation in Japan has been critical ever since the peace with honour in 1921, the numerous economic crisis and riots as well as the ineffective response to German interventions in China, toppling the autocratic Tanaka regime, the Empire of the Rising Sun managed to bounce back, albeit as only a regional power with limited influence in East Asia. However, the Japanese seem determined to put this weakness to rest and have now announced their ambitions of seizing its place amongst the great superpowers of the world, by force if necessary. This ambition conflicts with Germany's sphere of influence in China, though. Uh-oh. So who's going to start the war? France or Japan? I don't think I've ever actually seen Japan start the war. Ottoman Empire declared war on Cyprus. Like, you don't have enough things going on right now. Especially as Egypt is spilling across Suez. No divisions in training. Oh, on the side, right. Of course we do. Start training. For some reason you're quite a long ways behind. 700 weapons short. Okay, getting there. Slowly but surely. May 38. Tiny bit more to be built in Sao Paulo and then we can start in the factories. How's the technology going? Why is this going so slowly? Feels like days are passing really slowly. Am I running stuff in the background? I shouldn't be. No, not really. Heart of Iron's taking up most of my CPU. Well, 25% of it. And a chunk of memory. Admittedly, I do have a bunch of Chrome browsers open. They do sometimes cause problems, but it shouldn't be the issue here. Alright, more training. Go, 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 go. And we have gone sub 400,000 at last. 41 million eligible core population. No, sorry, 1.5% of the eligible core population of 4.1 million. 41.7 million. Ah, man, I can't count today. Very close to finishing that, which will be good. Then we can get some more civilian factories going, and then I might well start switching to some military ones. I don't know exactly how well Brazil can industrialize. We can get a kind of an overview from here. Not hugely well. I mean, the coast can industrialise quite well, but the north of the country really can't. In fact, we can get a lot of industry along here. Maybe a little bit down there. Okay, what is this? Nordest. Bahia. Cool. Okay, so we're on the last piece of infrastructure, and then we start on the civilian. Good. How are we doing over here? Well, not we. How's Austria doing over here? Austria is winning. Yeah, because Serbia is also pushing in. That's why Serbia seems to have grown a little bit. And the Ottomans are losing, I would say. The Egyptians are pushing across further. Has Persia joined the war? Persia has joined the war. So you're being attacked on 1, 2, 3 different fronts. Although Kurdistan seems to have been controlled. Still at war though, more could happen. Alright, how's this going? How's your training? How's your training? How's our stockpile? Good. It's actually getting a little bit more production. That was up to 26 from 24. And the research, 3 days away from concentrated industry 2. That will help. And we'll also increase the amount of guns that we're producing, which is also good. 1 day. And done. And also the army railways the same day. Magnificent. Alright, so next technology is going to be, I think, excavation 2, because we're going to need the resources. And now it is time to establish the CSN. The Compagnia Sigrusia Nacional will grant us much needed steel for our arms industry. Establishing it will require foreign expertise and a great deal of effort, however. Do it. And with that, we are going to end this episode. So thank you very much for watching. If you're enjoying the series, then please do hit that like button. If you haven't done so already, then do consider subscribing. And if you have any tips or advice for me, let me know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. I'll catch you next time. Goodbye.